Hello everybody and welcome back to another installation of And She Rants. Today I'm talking about LinkedIn. Obviously a lot of us have learned about LinkedIn and started utilizing it as a platform to build our professional network, and it's just been a super awesome resource for me in both building my professional and personal brand. So I just wanted to give a few tips about how to use the platform that I found very valuable. I think this will be particularly valuable for people who are coming out of school, thinking like, how do I get onto this platform and how do I use it and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, and just some details and information that I've learned over time, sometimes from making a mistake and sometimes just from learning from other people. So let's get started. The first thing that I would say is a really great tip for using LinkedIn is all about the connections. So make sure that you are building your professional network and having that reflected in your professional connections on LinkedIn. I will say specifically that your connections should be a reflection of your real legitimate professional network. So with that means that you should take caution with who you're connecting with on your LinkedIn profile. I am very, very specific about who I connect with on LinkedIn. I don't think that this is true for everyone. Some people believe in the model of like connecting with everybody and, oh, if you add me, I'm going to add you back because let's just build a professional network. But for me, I would like people to see who I'm connected with and be able to maybe give an opportunity to someone because they see, oh, I see this is your first connect and they do XYZ. I would love to be connected to them and actually be able to follow through on that. So I only connect with people that I either actually have a professional relationship with, or they've reached out and said, I want to be connected to you because I'm interested in XYZ and I can see the value in this professional connection later on. So I'm very cautious with who I connect with on LinkedIn. I would give that same caution to other people who are adding individuals on your LinkedIn profile. I think you would want your connections to reflect who you know, and what your actual network looks like. The second thing that I would say about using LinkedIn, and a really great tip, is that when you are making new professional connections, particularly with people that you do not work with, you didn't go to school with, you don't have a personal relationship with, always send a message with your connection request. Always send a message with your connection request. Sometimes you meet someone at a conference or you were connected to them through someone else at an event, whatever. But people are meeting a lot of individuals every day, and you can't count on the fact that they're going to remember who you are just because you added them on LinkedIn. So with every message, every connection that I make, particularly with people I'm really hoping to learn from and kind of build the next steps of my journey with, and like get some advice from them, I always say like, hey, I just wanted to reach out. Like, we met at X place, let them know how they know you. We spoke about X, like make sure they can kind of do something to help them trigger their memory and remember what the conversation was. And I just wanted to make sure that we stayed connection because of XYZ. That is like the extra mile. I think that sometimes just jogging their memory will help and they'll want to be connected to you. But if you're saying something really specific, because you never know how people feel about their connections, you're saying, I want to be connected with you for this purpose. This has a reason. I really highly recommend doing that and making it clear why you think that you should build your professional network with this individual. LinkedIn requests that I get without messages feel kind of unclear to me. I don't always know why we're trying to be connected. Sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe you viewed my content and that's awesome. But I want to make sure, again, that my professional connections on LinkedIn are actually reflective of the legitimate professional network I have in real life. So be cautious with that and always send a message to make sure that people remember who you are. The third thing I would say is a tip that I've recently learned about LinkedIn is you should be engaging as much as you can on your LinkedIn profile. I had a colleague or a former colleague who was speaking about this in one of his posts, and he was saying how important it is for us to kind of feel confident and comfortable using our voice on the platform, on the LinkedIn platform. And this really resonated with me because it was a lesson it took me a really long time to learn. Originally, I was like, oh, you don't need to know how I feel about things. LinkedIn, my colleagues are on here, my boss is on here. You know, there's some people who kind of snuck into my professional network. I don't even really know who's looking at what I have to say. Well, there may be future employers there or future connections or whatever. You never know who's watching. And when you post like a video or something like that, everyone can see it. So I was like, no. Honestly, I don't need people knowing who I am or where I work or, you know, trying to pick out like how I think about things and connect my personal brand to my professional brand. What I realized is that I was doing myself a disservice because I was missing out on the opportunity to both share and kind of do what I find to be my purpose in helping other people transition their career into the tech industry, and also doing myself a disservice of knowing, you know, there are people who want to get connected to me and partner with me on things, or just that I can learn from and engage with and learn from them, and vice versa, and all of that. I was doing myself a disservice and not allowing myself to kind of build those connections and build a bigger professional network and more specific professional network based on my activity on LinkedIn, that people can really understand what my interests are and the impact that I want to have in the industry that I work in. So I've learned over time the importance of me engaging in this. And, you know, I've had experiences, you know, I post now my YouTube videos where I talk about tech and I talk about career transition is something that I did. And there are some people I work with who had no idea that I career transitioned and had no idea like where I was coming from professionally. And I had to kind of get over that idea that people were gonna, you know more about me personally, and get over the fact that my colleagues and my boss are probably watching things that I do, and know that they're supportive of that and they're excited about me being passionate about this industry, me being passionate about the work that I do, and sharing tips with other people and trying to, you know, get more women into tech and get more people of color into tech and create those opportunities. So hey to all my colleagues who are watching this, hey, if I know you, and even if I don't know you, because that has happened too, but you never know who is on the other side of your engagement on LinkedIn. So I always recommend people to just kind of stay active, stay engaged, talk to people, like people's posts, comment under them if you have questions, engage in conversation about interesting issues, post articles that you read that are relevant to your industry or other industries that you're interested in, share content, share your views and ideas on how we can make a change and how we can create opportunities for people. You know, if tech is your thing, how can we create opportunities for women in tech? Like, ask questions and watch people engage. Literally watch people engage with you and continue dialogue and spark other conversations and all of that. And that's really what this platform is for. It's a really cool mix of being like, you know, a resume, but also like Facebook, but the professional Facebook. So make sure that you are doing yourself a favor and engaging. And with that also comes the caution of, don't be inappropriate. This isn't Facebook. This is like a professional Facebook, but it's not just where all your thoughts should just be thrown around about anything. You have to be conscious that people are watching you and people are paying attention to what you say. And you should feel comfortable that whatever you've posted on LinkedIn, you're okay with people that you work with. Let's say you're okay with your CEO seeing what you had to say. Like, you should be confident that if you post a video, if you post an article, if you engage on LinkedIn, you're comfortable with your CEO seeing your activity. That is the one caution that I would give to people. Otherwise, engage, use this platform. That's what it's here for. The last piece of advice that I have about building your LinkedIn profile is make sure your resume matches your LinkedIn profile. I think we have a lot of job experience and the resume is one page, or should be, and it sometimes can prove difficult to put everything in there. So you can use your LinkedIn profile to be able to put other job experiences that employers can cross-reference and see what you have to contribute and the work that you've done. But you should also be cautious that people want to see that who you say you are in your resume is who you are showing yourself to be in your LinkedIn profile. That includes your engagement and your activity. That includes like all of the jobs that are listed on your page. That includes, you know, participation in activities that you've listed on there. Even your description of yourself. Use the opportunity of LinkedIn to get more information about you out there for employers that you may not be able to explain or convey way through just a one-page resume. So make sure that you have that description filled out. Like, who are you? What are you passionate about? Why do you do what you do? Why are you in the industry that you're in? Why tech? Let us know. Give us as much information as possible, but make sure that story tells the same story that you are giving people in your resumes, because employers are certainly going to check your LinkedIn profile to just kind of cross-check and validate who you are as a person, you know, even see recommendations. So if you can get people to talk about the work that you've done with them before, utilize that. If you can get people to endorse your skill set, utilize that. I don't know how valuable that is to certain companies or how much emphasis they put on things like that. It's not the more you have on that profile, the better. It's the more specific you are on your profile, the better. Maybe you're looking to transition careers, and LinkedIn is a perfect profile to kind of tell us why. Where did you start from, and where are you going, and why do you want to do that? And that might be a really great place to start, so that you're catching an employer's eye there and not worried about not being able to do so in your resume. It's kind of like a cover letter and resume all in one. Those are my tips, and I hope that they're helpful to you. I think this will be particularly helpful for people who are just getting onto the platform. Like, comment, talk to me. Let's continue to have a dialogue. Do you think that you should be connected with anyone on LinkedIn? Do you agree with some of my tips? Do you disagree with some of my tips? This is a community. We're trying to continue to have conversations so that we can all help each other be better, build better professional networks, and kind of make our dreams come true and change the world that we live in. So subscribe to my YouTube channel. Reach out to me at anshicodes@gmail.com, and I'll see you for my next video.